And one.
Welcome to another episode of Streetpreneur Podcast, the podcast for startup companies, aspiring entrepreneurs, and established entrepreneurs. Today I have a very special guest. We want to talk about the mobile spa business. For those who have been interested in getting into the mobile spa industry and just learning more about it, you've been thinking about starting your own mobile spa business, and also companies that utilize mobile spa businesses for their massage businesses to help their clients with any type of illness, any type of, you just need it just for feel good. You're having a special event. You want to invite someone that's in the massage industry out to help your clients. I have a very special guest today. Her name is Angelique Kenzer. Welcome to Streetpreneur Podcast. Did I pronounce your name right?
It's Angelique Kenzer.
Angelique Kenzer. I'm sorry about that. I butchered so many people's names.
It's okay.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your background before you got started in the mobile spa industry.
So I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, originally.
Okay.
I've been here since 2015. So I got here in 2015. I was doing music at the time. I was in a girl group. A lot of people don't know that.
Okay.
That's why I moved to Atlanta to pursue the music. But when I got here, maybe 2 weeks into my move, I got hit by a 18-wheeler. And so it flipped us over. We, tumbled around, and it was a really bad accident. I ended up having to have back surgery. They crushed a disc in my spine. And so I had to have therapy, physical therapy and everything for that next following year after the surgery. And honestly, that's really what kind of sparked my interest in massage in the first place, because I had to have massages on a regular basis, and it just really showed me the therapy and the healing that could come from that. It took me years later to actually go to school for it, but it was something that was kind of always in the back of my mind. And so, I got started in that 2022. I went to school. I graduated last year in March. And got my license at the end of last year, and I really just kind of took off. So I'm kind of wrapping up my first year of business, and it's been good.
What was the training process like? How many weeks did you have to go, or was it you had to go for a couple of years? Or
So
was the education process?
When I went to school, I went to Elaine Sterling Institute. It's actually inside of Lenox Mall, and the program I did was 750 hours. So for me, that was about 8.5 months. They have now recently that I've heard they've shortened the program. I think it's only like 5-something hours. So it's a little shorter now. So it's a pretty quick program, but it's intense. It's a lot of anatomy. So we have to learn the full body, and not only just like the muscles and the bones, but the function of the body, how it works. And they get into a lot of I want to say beyond just like the physical part of the body, but like emotional and things like that, because you can bring up a lot of emotional things with people when you're, rubbing and pulling that trauma out of their body.
Okay. And what year was it that you opened the business? Is you officially open?
So I got my LLC while I was in school. I had no idea what I was going to do, where I was going to go. They had all these people coming up to the school, trying to get us to come work at their companies. Right. And I just kind of off bat knew I didn't want to work for somebody else. I wanted to start my own business. This isn't my first business I've, tried at. So I just have an entrepreneur spirit. And I said, I know I want to do this on my own, but I wasn't really sure how. So I got my license in November, and I met my mentor, my coach, in January. And so I guess I really got started in January, but, I kind of played around in November, December, but January is kind of when I really took off. Okay.
And what was the startup cost at that time? What equipment that you have to buy, and what all did you spend money on to get started?
Well, luckily I did get a lot of stuff in my kit at school. So they did give me a really nice massage table, and the chair to go with that. Started me off with, some sheets and things. But since then I've invested in a lot more sheets. You need a lot of sheets. I bought my own massage chair because I do events with the chair. That wasn't provided in school. You have to keep your oils. I do make my own massage oils. I think that's really about it. You know, it's really kind of simple once you get everything you need. I got a heating pad, blankets, things like that. So once you kind of get your initial setup, I say maybe if you buying all those things on your own, you may spend $1,000, you know, to kind of get all those things going, maybe a little more, but it's not too bad really. And, you know, that comes back really quickly. So.
Okay. So it's really a low cost barrier to get started.
Yeah. School was, I want to say, 12 to 15,000. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe about 12,000.
Okay.
So not too bad, really.
Not too bad.
I mean, because I made that money back in January.
Yeah.
So you know, it's if you know really get into it and you know get dedicated to it, that money will come back really quickly.
Okay. Let's talk about marketing and advertising.
Mm-hmm.
During that time when you first getting started in the business, how were you attracting clients?
So like I said, my very first event I did was Lace Free Fest. It's a really talented stylist here named Damian Flagler. Mm-hmm. She does a free fest once a year annually. She's been doing since I think 2020 is when she started. Mm-hmm. And so she brings out a lot of vendors and they all provide free services or like discounted things or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And so I was invited out to do free stretches. So I wasn't doing massage. I was actually doing stretches. I actually do full body stretch, Thai massage. I'm certified in that as well. And so I came out, I did free stretches for the community. And that's where I met my coach at the time. And so she saw me there. She posted me on Instagram. I didn't know her, know anything about her. Six-figure spa chick. She's amazing. So she's really been pushing me since I met her in January to really grow in marketing. She's a marketing genius. So I've learned a lot from her. And so now, I would say the biggest thing that I learned and kind of what got me started was learning how to get those leads. And so creating different lead magnets, things that would draw people into me. And so that first event I did that was free, that was a lead magnet. It's like I provided free services, but I met hundreds of people. And so I went from really essentially very few no clients to just being flooded.
So it's a combination of going out to special events, like you said, being involved in the community, as well as just social media advertising, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just posting a lot on.
Yeah. But you got to do stuff to be able to post,
you
know.
And so create the content.
So I tell people, like, don't be scared to do stuff for free or just get outside. Like I used to go on the Beltline and just set up my table or my chair and just come get a free one, because until they know you, you're not nobody to them. They like, okay, you said you give a massage, but I don't know you, So I just started kind of getting my face out there, offering free services to people. And it just kind of grew from there. And so once I was able to get the content and put it out there, people love the content. They like seeing me, fold people into pretzels and all that. So that kind of drew its own attraction. And then just going off of that momentum, keeping it going. And so, I think that's the key too. Don't kind of just throw something out there and then wait around. It's like keep going,
keep going,
Yeah.
So how do you create that vibe, that experience for your clients? Just hypothetically speaking, I invite you come to my house, I pay you for your services. What do you do to create that vibe, to get that experience?
Yeah, so I like to start a lot of my sessions off with like some breathing exercises. A lot of people don't really know how to breathe properly, as simple as that sounds.
Yeah.
So focused breathing, really getting somebody in tune, and that kind of gets them really in tune with their body. I just have a natural calming aura and energy. So, it's usually just kind of that and we vibe a little bit and I let them kind of talk to me. And a lot of times my massage sessions turn into therapy sessions. And so people will be, talking about their relationships or the, things they got going on. And so it's just a relaxing moment for them to be able to just kind of release everything emotionally, physically. I have people cry on my table, but I love those experiences because it's important to have those moments. And a lot of time we so busy moving around and hustle and bustle. And it's like to really take that moment to really just sit with yourself and release. You know, we're not really giving ourselves that a lot of times. So
right.
I try to provide that safe space for people.
So it's kind of turned into a therapy session.
It's a little bit. Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people have a lot of stress they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't have anyone to talk to about exactly what they're going through in their life at that particular time.
Yeah, and it's a very vulnerable space. You know, like I tell people, you got to think this person, and this is something they really instilled in us in school, was this person is like really trusting you on a different level. They're laying on your table with no clothes on. You know, like that's a very vulnerable space to be in. And so when somebody's laying there literally naked, it allows them to start to get comfortable with exposing what's beyond just, you know, that artificial layer.
Okay. And let's talk about pricing. What do you charge for your services, or do you offer weekly packages or monthly, or just kind of give us a breakdown on your prices?
Okay, yeah. So I do have a spa in Douglasville, and so my in-spa prices, depending on the specials. Right now, I have holiday specials going on right now. My self-love starter kit is $111. That is a combo session. It's a 60-minute session that includes a full-body stretch as well as a full-body massage. I do include aromatherapy in my sessions. I do have also packages that go above that as far as mobile. My mobile services do start at $200 an hour. That includes my travel fee. I do have a promo code that I'm going to leave with everybody today, though, which will be a $50 gift card off of any mobile service. So I could come out for starting at $150.
Okay.
I do different specials and things at my spa often. So if you come to me, I got better specials for you. But if you want me to drive all around Atlanta, you know, you got to, you know.
Yeah. Tell us about your event pricing. Just say I'm having a festival or something like that and I want you to come out. What would be that price?
Yeah, so it depends on the size of the event, how many people you'll need. I do have a team, so I have other therapists that I'll bring out with me depending on how big it is. Yeah. So it really just depends. Like when I do expos and things like that, typically if I'm able to get sponsorship there, then I might not have to pay and I can, you know, just charge accordingly. If somebody, you know, wants to book me for something, then typically for a smaller crowd, I usually charge about $150 an hour for the chair massage. Like I said, I do the stretch and the massage, so it just depends. Some people don't necessarily pay me to come out, but I charge full price for the services once I get there. So it really kind of varies on the event. But
tell us the types of massages that you offer, or just in general, the type of services that you offer.
Yeah, so I do traditional massage, deep tissue, Swedish type styles. I specialize in Thai massage. So Thai massage is it's kind of like assisted yoga, if I could explain it the best. So we get down on a floor mat and I put you in a lot of different, you know, stretch positions and stretch you out. I can also do those things on the table. I can even do some of the Thai in the chair. So it just depends, you know, the space that I have to work with and all those things. But the stretch is where it's at.
It's intense.
It's where, honestly, the stretch is what really set me apart from a lot of massage therapists, or what continues to set me apart. I do offer certification classes for that as well. And I do couples Thai massage workshops. So I could teach you and your boo, you know, some stretches y'all can do on each other at home. And, you know, it's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole kind of intimate situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about a memorable story that you had with a client. Nothing long, and just maybe one. Like you said, people crying and people going really emotional. Did it really touch you?
Yeah.
After you heard their story or what that particular person was going through at that time.
Yeah. So one of the more recent situations of somebody that got really emotional, I was at Paradise Park. Paradise Park is a Black-owned eco-retreat in Douglasville. It's a really beautiful space. And so I'm a partner with them as well. I was there performing a Thai massage on one of the ladies that came in with a group of ladies that they were all coworkers. And so they came in and they did a, employee kind of a bonding experience. And I went to, press on her shoulders and do something that I was doing in Thai massage, and she just started crying, and so I hugged her and I gave her some love in that moment. We finished on, and when we got to the end and everything, we kind of got to talking about it. She's like, I don't even know why I was crying. She's like, you put that pressure in the right spot, and she's like, I felt it come up through my chest, and I'm like, that's your heart chakra, and so certain stretches and things that I do may open up blockages in your body. And so the chakras go down your spine from the top of your head to the, base of your body. And so certain things that I do may open those things that are blocked, and that can come with a lot of emotion. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's touch back on the money again. How much can someone expect to make in this industry year one? Just say maybe gross versus net. I know it depends on how much they work.
Yeah, it's really about that work you put in, and but I will say that my first operating year, I'm coming in at 6 figures this year. So
okay, well that ain't bad.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So I'm excited. It's been good. This is my first time touching 6 figures doing anything. So. It feels good, but I do know that I'm in spaces with a lot of other therapists who are not touching those numbers. And so I think it's really just getting yourself out there and putting yourself in different spaces and trying different things. And
your collaborations, your
collaborations and partnerships, that network is your net worth, that's a fact. So just getting out there and meeting different people and finding your way to be in those different rooms.
And another question, how do you balance your personal life from the business? Your dating life, how does this business, when do you have downtime, or how do you when you don't want to do any massages today? It's hard because when people find out that you're a massage therapist, it's like, ooh, you know what, my back do hurt, like right here, and it's like it turns into work. Right.
The healer in me is like, I want to help, but sometimes it's like I can't right now, so it's like I don't even tell everybody immediately like what I do, because it's like but I am dating somebody now. Initially when I started, I was single, but it is different. It's like I say, it can be a very intimate experience. So with my men clients, I just have to, and I'd say that to all the women that are kind of getting started, just set your boundaries and really stick to them, because massage can be very over-sexualized a lot of times. And for me, I'm not going into it with that type of energy. But what I realize is that, especially with men, a lot of people can't relate physical touch to anything but a sexual thought, because that's really the only time they're being touched is when it's something sexual. So they're not even able to comprehend that this can be something outside of sexual, so.
Right. Do you think social media kind of set the tone for that?
Yeah.
I said, this is not a massage. This is going to the next level on social media. So,
I see that a lot of times.
I don't know what company that was doing. It was this guy that was doing the massage, but he was going to another.
It's a lot of men that kind of get away with it more than women, but I do see the women too. And me, I'm one of those people, like, I don't knock nobody hustle.
That creates that stereotype.
Yeah, I don't knock nobody hustle, but it is frustrating when they come to me and it's like, oh, do you do happy endings? Do you do? No, I don't. Like, this is not that. But I think it's all about, I don't get that as often as probably some other women who maybe are not presenting themselves the correct way. So I think it's all about your presentation, how you carry yourself, and how you talk, and so I don't let people call me a masseuse, not a masseuse. I'm a massage therapist, and there's a difference. So it's just really about, like I said, that demeanor you have, the lingo you use with people, and just setting those boundaries and standing on them,
Any advice for anyone that's aspiring to start their own mobile spa business? What kind of advice? What's some of the pros and cons you can give them? Just short.
I would say do it. If you feel it, do it. But definitely find a price point that you're comfortable with and stick to that, because it can be taxing on the body. And so don't let people make you feel like, oh, you're charging too much because it's $60 at Massage Envy. Let them go to Massage Envy. if that's what they want to do. So I just say that, set your price and stick to it and just, be consistent. But if you want to do it, I say do it because the field is booming, so.
Okay. What are your future goals for the company?
Future goals, so
for 2025, you
2025.
want to expand? You want to hire more?
Yeah, I am hiring. So please DM me if you're a massage therapist. I am currently hiring people for events as well as to start taking over some of my clientele because I'm moving into a space of doing more workshops, certifications, and just group type of situations. So the events and all that, it takes up a lot of my time. And so that's why I'm looking for therapists to kind of take some of my, individual clients. So, definitely send me a DM.
All right. And what is the best way for people to contact you?
So I'm on Instagram, Soul Touch Massage and Spa. So that's the easiest way. My website is soultouchspa.com. So you can always book through there. But send me a DM if you got any questions or, if you want to kind of talk about more. And I'm always checking that. So.
Okay. Well, there you have it. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come to Streetpreneur Podcast today. And I'm sure my listeners are going to learn. They learned a lot from listening to you today, those who are interested in getting in your particular business. And they're going to be following you.
Yeah.
So,
and make sure y'all catch my webinar, January 6th. I'm going to be doing some chakra opening stretch exercises on a webinar for you guys to kind of follow along and see. So tune in for that.
Right. Is this going to be on which platform?
So I am going to post it on my Instagram, but it's also going to be through paradiseislife.net. We're starting a new membership program with that, but I will be posting some of those things on my Instagram as well. But it's going to be actual like Zoom call. So you'll have to tune in for that. But if you come to my Instagram, I'll have a link for you to be able to get into the webinar.
Okay. Did you give them your Instagram?
Yep. Soul Touch Massage and Spa.
All right. There you have it. And again, thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
And make sure you please watch, subscribe, and also hit that like button and share this particular episode. And don't forget to listen to us on the audio version of Apple and Spotify and other audio listening platforms. And thank you for coming out. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Streetpreneur Podcast.